At Hell in a Cell 2019, Seth Rollins was the Universal Champion and he was defending his title against the Fiend, Bray Wyatt. Now, the first problem with this match is that there is a red Hell in a Cell. Now, I guess this is the standard going forward, but boy, what a terrible decision to make a red Hell in a Cell. Why? I have no idea. Then on top of that, because this is the Fiend, now there is a red light on during the entire match. Another terrible idea. And the reason why this is important is because there are so many people who work in the WWE creative department. So many. Dozens and dozens and dozens of people. And nobody could shut this down? This match is almost 20 minutes long, and you're going to have a red light on the whole time? What are these people, crazy? The first few minutes of this match are really boring. It's just brawling around the cell. Bray Wyatt even bumps into a cameraman because they don't have a lot of room to move around in. It's just boring. Nobody's reacting to anything. The first thing that gets any reaction is when Seth Rollins does a splash through Bray Wyatt through a table in the ring. And even then, people don't really seem to be too interested in this match. I feel bad for the people watching live because there's this red light, red cage. They can probably barely see anything. During this match, Bray Wyatt is no-selling most of Seth's offense, and that's the problem with this character of the Fiend, that he's this invincible monster. Well, how are you supposed to have a wrestling match with something that's invincible? I mean, he's not selling anything. He's not selling the curb stomp. He got right back up after going through a table. The psychology of the match doesn't work because this is like facing an unbeatable monster, which is funny because of the way this match ends. Then Bray Wyatt takes out this big mallet and then he just shoves it into Seth Rollins against the cage. And Byron Saxton says he almost impaled him. The mallet looks ridiculous. This match is ridiculous. Byron Saxton is ridiculous. It's a shame that Seth Rollins had to go through this. And I know Seth Rollins has said since then that he was really not happy with this match. Seth Rollins does the curb stomp on Bray Wyatt a bunch of times and pedigrees him, goes for the pin. Bray Wyatt kicks out after one. You see, this doesn't work. You can't have somebody like this in the WWE. You can't have this invincible force because how are you ever going to beat him? Which, funnily enough, Bray Wyatt eventually wins the championship after this show, and Goldberg beats him in like less than 3 minutes as the Fiend. Explain that one, WWE. Where's the logic in that? Seth Rollins hits the Fiend in the head with a steel chair as the Fiend is just laying there in the middle of the ring. Still can't get a pinfall. Then he brings in a ladder to basically drop the ladder on the Fiend's head with the chair on the Fiend's head. Still no good. And then he takes this toolbox and he's smashing the Fiend with the toolbox, and the crowd is booing this because they know this is ridiculous. I mean, they just ruined Seth Rollins' finishing move, the curb stomp, because he just did it like 10 times and got a 1 count. I mean, this is just, it's ruining the whole idea of professional wrestling. The ending of this match is one of the worst endings in WWE history. Seth Rollins takes a sledgehammer. Now, keep in mind, this is a Hell in a Cell match. Anything goes, right? So he gets a sledgehammer, and he's about to hit the Fiend with it in the head. The Fiend has a steel chair, a ladder, and like a toolbox on his head. Then the referee gets in front of Seth and tells him not to do it. Tells him that, what do you want to do? Kill this guy? This isn't you, Seth. That's what this match is all about. This match is about violence. This is about a definitive end to a match. That's why you have a Hell in a Cell match. So then Seth hits the Fiend with the sledgehammer in the head. The referee calls for the bell. It's a ref stoppage. And then they raise the cell, and all these referees get in the ring to check on the Fiend. Now, I'm sorry, I thought the Fiend was a supernatural character. Why are they looking to help the Fiend? Like, they bring out a gurney and a stretcher to put him on the stretcher. Like, what? Then, after they raise the cell and everything like that, Seth Rollins goes to, like, yell at the Fiend, and the Fiend puts the mandible claw on Seth, no selling everything, as usual. And all the referees get out of the ring. The fans start chanting, "Restart the match." they're not restarting the match. And then the Fiend gives Seth Rollins a Sister Abigail on the concrete floor outside. Then he locks in the mandible claw again, and you can see Seth Rollins bleeding from the mouth. That's how they end this show. And actually, the broadcast ends with Bray Wyatt laughing through the arena. And I bet all those fans sitting there who were booing this entire ending and whatever happened after the match ended, they were booing the whole thing. And when they heard that laugh, I bet they felt like that guy, Bray Wyatt, is laughing at us because we were dumb enough to pay money to come here to see this. That ending was so disrespectful to the fans. I mean, what a shame.